Okay, time to spin. Let's see. What the fuck? What do I even play? Do I play chess? Do I what do I play? What do I fucking play? Oh my god, bro, what do I play? What do I play? Should I play Saints Row? Should I play like fucking I don't know what to play. Should I play chess? I don't like playing chess. It's gonna give me a headache. I don't know though. Like, give me some time. I have to think about this. I have to think about what to play. Give me some time. Jesus. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. Out of like, I have three ideas: chess, Saints Row 2, and Time to Talk, where I will basically be talking about anything that's not personal, anything that I can share. So it's gonna be like maybe it'll be. I'm kind of sleepy right now, so I don't even want to do that. But who knows? Maybe like I don't want to do anything if it's up to me and what I want, which is why I'm doing these wheel spins in the first place. So maybe once I get to start talking, I'll have how do I say this? I have something interesting to say. Maybe who knows? Let's just spin, spin. Brrr. Oh my god. Okay. I guess we're doing time to talk. What do I even want to talk about, bro? I don't want to talk about anything. Hold on, let me just take this and add that to the wheel now. Time to talk. Time to talk. Jesus. Alright. I guess it's time to talk. Oh man. I forgot to edit. Okay, well, anyways, forget about it. What do I even talk about? I can take these off because I'm not gonna listen to anything. I literally don't have anything to say. Like, I don't, but that's it. You don't, that's not a good thing. Like, you gotta have something to say. That's a bad thing. You have to talk about some shit. And sometimes, yes, you just have to vent, no matter how cringe it might seem, because once you start talking and once you like even if no one's listening, once you start venting, it's subconscious, like your brain doesn't understand that, so but your brain thinks that you are actually like talking to someone even if you're not talking to anyone. I'm gonna close this because I keep looking at myself and I become conscious of the way I look and the way I have this habit of raising my eyebrows. You can see, do you see this line? Ooh, this huge line. Yep, that's because I raise my eyebrows a lot. Yeah, I'm conscious about that one too. I mean, it's not a good thing, like, to, like, have that habit of raising your eyebrows because, it gives you wrinkles. So like, what you should do is apparently, like, is to, keep a still face and keep it still for a long time. But yeah, that's not like possible, is it? Especially, it also depends on how much you care about it. I, like, since growing up, I didn't really care about didn't really care about any of that. I didn't really care about. Um, I also have some games to add. Like, so I'm deleting Time to Talk because it did get picked. So I have Assassin's Creed 2. Yeah, for now that's the only thing. Maybe Bully, but Bully is very laggy and it's not really a good game. Maybe Red Dead Redemption 1, but that's also kind of laggy. I'll have to think about those ones, to be honest, a little bit. But yeah. Oh, do, 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 do. I should fix my sleep. What time is it? It's I live in Azerbaijan and right now it's 7:50 p.m. My sleep is very horrible and it's all because of this little shit. This fucking phone. I mean, it's obviously my fault when you think about it. But when I don't have the phone, I end up sleeping because I finally like give in to the boredom and do what I'm supposed to do. That's what I should do. That's what I always should do. Damn, I can't speak. I should always try to do what I'm supposed to do. Does that make any sense? I hope it does. Yeah. Because if you don't and you do what you want to do, you guys probably have heard about this like millions of times from not millions, maybe millions. Let me think about it. Would it be millions? Like, let's think about it. Let's say an average person who no one watches my videos, but let's assume I have an average age audience, and I assume the people who listen to me would be somewhat mature, not that mature, but like between at least 14, 15 to all the way up to fucking 26, unless they get a job and sell their souls to the system, or you know what I'm talking about. I'm not being literal about selling souls or some shit, but you guys understand, basically having a job and not having time to do what you want to do. That's what I mean by selling your soul. Obviously I don't mean actually selling your soul, but yeah, if that doesn't happen, I guess a lot of old people would watch my videos even if they have a job. Sometimes when they get free time, I'm assuming they would watch my videos. I have to do some shorts, but I also kind of don't want to do shorts because shorts bring the audience that um, short videos bring in the audience that have low attention span. I mean, I also have low attention span, and the truth is, if you think about it, it probably only takes like how long would it take? I would assume it would take like not that long. Like, if we're being very optimistic, it would take 1 week, maybe all the way up to 4 weeks to like fix your attention span by simply not watching anything that's short form content. No YouTube shorts, no TikToks, no I don't know, no Instagram reels. It's only those three, isn't it? Yeah, it's only those three. Just don't watch short form content. I mean, Wine is deleted. Wine doesn't exist anymore. So yeah. Oh, that food was very good. I ate a doner very recently. It was very good. When I eat my doner, I tell the chef to only put meat, beef, mayonnaise, and that's it. That's what I tell my doner cut maker guy to do. Like usta. Yeah, that's what I tell him to do. I should just drink water instead of drinking. Like, trying to go for something that has more flavored, like, just because it has more flavor I should stop drinking tea or coffee, because at the end of the day it's a net negative, not positive for me. Yeah. But up. What do I have? What else do I have to talk about? What else do I have yet to talk about? Well, I gotta go take a shit because my stomach is like tap going through processes. I got bowel movements because of this tea. I'll be back. I'll pause the video, so I'll be back instantly. Alright, I'm back. And I completely forgot. Not completely, I think I remember what I was talking about a little. Anyways, my parents are talking in the other room. They're not arguing, they're just talking. But you know, the walls are thin and you can hear them. Open yet. Alright, so hold on, let me try to remember. I think I had an idea of what I was talking about, then I forgot. Um, Anyways, I can't remember it. Yeah. Alright, you know what? If I can't think of anything to talk about, I will just simply will stop talking about anything. Like, if there's nothing to talk about, don't talk about anything. You can just stay quiet. Sometimes, fuck it, I'll just say it. Sometimes, some of my videos might just be me not talking about anything at all, me just being quiet for the whole 30 minutes instead of trying to like push myself to yap. This right now, what I'm talking about, like, you know, metacognition or whatever, you know, talking about stuff. This is not forced. Forced. It's not. So, mm, yeah. My point is, if when it becomes forced, it just isn't as good as it being natural. In in this context, like, don't take my like quotes out of context. Don't do that. That's lame as fuck. Yeah, I will definitely switch to water. Water is way better. You know, these boring habits that people have, sleeping, working, and then going back to home, they're kind of healthy. If you're actually like doing them properly, I think the payoff is like worth it. It is most definitely worth it. You know, I did go to a therapist instead of doing this. If you're asking, like, if you're thinking about it, and well, when you're like talking to a therapist, I mean, they obviously try to break the ice by finding something to like talk about because that's their job, literally. But you know, I'm a kind of person who's like a little fucking neurotic, as in I'm anxious all the time. So I don't know if it's because I'm relatively intelligent compared to like people I talk to on a daily basis. But anyways, I'm anxious. I am an anxious person. So when I like do sessions with a therapist, it just happens to be that I oh, with the video uploaded, Mafia 2 episode 3. Anyways, I just happen to like be like subconsciously pressured to just talk about something. And when you're like talking to a therapist instead of doing this, you are actually well, he asks about your life specifically and your personal life, and you know, most of the time he does share your secrets, right? And obviously it's not exactly the same. This isn't exactly the same as talking to a therapist, but it's like because one thing that's obviously different is that, like I mentioned earlier, like literally seconds ago, that you when I'm doing this, I'm not obviously not sharing any secrets, nothing personal, at least not yet, and I'm not planning on doing so. But what you never know, right? I should stop looking at the time because it's like distracting. Maybe I should let the time pass. I forget. Oh shit. Um. So, well, that's one thing that's different. So it's obviously not the same thing, but I guess there are similarities because you're talking, and when you just talk, things just happen to be like, I don't know how to explain it properly. The things just happen to be real, you know. Bup, 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 bup. Yeah, I forgot what point I was trying to make. I guess it doesn't matter anymore, does it? I don't think it matters. Nothing matters, but I know that's cringe as fuck, but let's be honest, nothing matters. Yeah, yeah. That's one thing that's different from talking to a therapist. The second thing that's different is the atmosphere, which I did mention. The third thing, I feel like I had one more thing, is that no matter how much uh, they seem as trying to be friendly, and I probably just had bad therapists in the past, but um, when you talk to a therapist, you're basically talking to a person who's trying to fix you. And even when I like actually went and open up to people like my peers, and start mentioning to them how I can't have a hard time being in social environments and getting a job, and um, trying to be normal, I guess. It's just I get anxious, and it's constant. I'm like on constantly like life or death like mode, like enabled. I can't it's hard for me to just, like, I don't understand how people do it. Give me a second, guys. Okay, I was talking about, yeah, how it's difficult for me. And so, people are people. People are expectable, like people are predictable, people are understandable. And I'm not trying to be any narcissistic. I'm not trying to like be arrogant. I just try to explain it the way I think it is. That's genuinely how I think it works out to be. I think people um, just people just replicate what they learned from like their past experiences, and the way they're approaching those situations are basically just, I'll be a lot more quiet because like my parents um are in the room, like both of them, and I feel like they're listening to me. I'm probably being paranoid. They probably don't care. When I'm wearing headphones, I genuinely don't know that's happening. But right now, I just, like I said, I'm a neurotic person. I'm paranoid. I just think about that kind of shit. Yeah, I feel like my dad's like that most of the time because especially when he gets drunk, you can like tell that he wants to be involved, and he's like also neurotic, and he starts thinking about everything. When he's um, not drinking, he's a lot more quiet. mm, yeah, what was I talking about? So yeah, neurotypical shit. So I don't blame them. I don't blame people. but I genuinely feel like the way I work instead of them is that I am more, what's one word to describe critical thinking? Like I just constantly question everything, like people, others. I'm constantly paranoid. I constantly like ask questions about people, situations, not just verbally, actually, mostly internally. I just start asking questions like, okay, why is this like this? Why is he like this? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? What's going on? I always try to like, um, I constantly try to be like in track of everything and ahead, maybe, perhaps, if it's better. I'm not doing that in a like in a narcissistic way. Maybe it's technically narcissistic. I don't know. I personally don't think it's like evil. At least like it might be narcissistic, but it's not the evil kind of narcissism. It's not that it's not that I want to be ahead of everything because I want to take advantage of people. It's that I want to be ahead of everything because I feel safer that way. And I, you know, who am I to, like, of course, I would like to speak the best about myself, but I feel like, I genuinely feel like this, by the way, that I am more responsible with my knowledge and understanding of others and other objects and concepts. And that might be the case because I am a pussy, like I'm a coward, I'm neurotic, but that's just the way I feel about myself. Like, I don't know. So, um, so yeah, when I get in, like, put in a different environment, like a completely different environment, like a job, like an office, like my first very official job, not, um, um, not volunteering, like boot camps, like an actual fucking job. People just around me, like they started being, you know, normal, and like they started acting like they know everything, and they probably know everything because they have been at their job for a decent amount of time, and they weren't like conscious of me, they weren't mindful of me, and I'm not blaming them for it, but that's the way it is. So I am naturally worried. I'm constantly worried about the safety of my job, even if it's gonna be like, even if it's gonna be normal at the end. And I'm also constantly worried that I'm doing something wrong. I'm constantly worried that all of my coworkers have a secret group chat where they criticize me. I'm constantly worried that I have flaws, and these flaws, like, I'm not like trying to be misogynistic, but I'm I never been in a different. I have been in an only one work environment, and that's the first and for now last job that I have ever had. If you don't consider this a job, which I don't, which is why I'm saying that job that I had was the only job that I ever had. And it was a mostly women environment. I would also say that there were like three men there ever, me, one other guy, and then one more other guy. The second guy was chill. We were in the same room. There was like a huge room where you had like uh, four people, actually, not that much. And then actually my room was chill, but literally everywhere else besides my room. There were like, how do I describe it without being misogynistic? Like, I'm trying my best to be mindful. You know how women are, they're like, emotional, but not just, how do I describe emotional? They're like, they like talk about the necessity of a job getting done, but that's kind of just it. That's as far as it goes. And you know, I take them seriously. And, you know, they're like, you should do this right now, do this, do that. You know, at least my manager, the woman who was this, I don't know why I called her a woman, you know, the person who was responsible of me, you know, my higher up, basically one level higher up. It's not just my higher up, by the way. She's the head. She has like a very high position. It's a mostly traditional environment. It's not very serious. I live in Azerbaijan. Like, it's kind of a big company, but at the same time, nothing is that professional. It's you know, work gets done. Don't, like, so far I have been only criticizing my environment, but for the most part, work was getting done. But at the same time, I just feel like, um, as much as was the work getting done, there was at least 4 times, arguably 10 times more shit getting complained about. Pardon my French. And you know, I took people seriously for that. You know, I was getting worried, and I was trying my best, and I didn't want to seem desperate, so I wasn't, you know, pretty much opening up to them and being like, "Am I doing a good job, mommy?" Like, I wasn't asking that, but I was also worried, you know, like, I was constantly worried that I was doing a good job, and so eventually the pressure got to me, and I used my master's. I was going to study master's. I did my job during the summer break, basically. So the summer came around, and I was like, I've only been there for a little over, no, a little over 2 months, basically. So I left my job, actually 2.5 months, basically, yeah. So I left my job, and then apparently I was doing a very good job, and I was about to get a raise, and you know, the woman who was in charge of me tried to keep in contact with me, and I kind of got prideful. Okay, I'll admit my mistake, and I was a little bit prideful. I was like, okay, I understand, but my decision is definite. I lied and said didn't like I didn't leave my job because I didn't find anything wrong with my job. I only left because I had to, because of my study plans. I lied, basically, and they saw right through my lie. But you know, they they have been around people like me, and because I'll admit, women are mostly also neurotic, and I'm, well, at least internally, like, right here, I'm a bit feminine. I'll admit, I'm a bit of a pussy inside right here, and I'm like, I apologize for, like, okay, I'll say it like this. Me being feminine, even if it's only up here and not everywhere else, um, is not a good thing. So when I call myself a pussy, it's a bad thing. But I'm not trying to, like, criticize. Yeah, I said it right the first time. Being a pussy. I'm not criticizing being a feminine person. I'm criticizing myself being feminine, and you know, other male people too, other AMAB, AM, AB people too. And you know, I'll admit I'm a little bit transphobic. Personally, my worldviews, my internal, it's not even like it's not political. I genuinely feel like life being that way. So Um, Give me a second, guys. The mic probably got that. Okay, I have to cut this short. It's been like 30 minutes, so I can literally stop the recording right now, but I'm not gonna do that because I was on to something. So, anyways, I'm transphobic a little bit. That's my genuine opinion, worldview that I um, got to by my own logic only, my own intuition only. That's beside the point. That's a little related to my point, but let's keep it aside for a moment. Like, I don't want to debate with anyone. I don't want to, like, argue with people for the sake of arguing. Let's, if we have to talk about that, we'll talk about that later when this gets. If I no, I'll say when. Fuck it. I'll say when. When I get famous in the future, we can talk about this. But let's keep this aside for a moment. I don't think I'm ever gonna stop being transphobic. I'm like very woke actually compared to right wing people. But you know, trans ideology is just where I draw the line personally. Internally, my based on my own logic only, I feel like I've thought about it, like sexual ideologies and shit. I thought about it for a decent amount, and I don't feel like my opinion is ever gonna change. But then again, how would I know? Maybe I'll be trans. Maybe I'll be a trans woman in the future. Who knows? Why? I'll just say it. Who knows? It's possible. Anything is possible. Maybe I'll get groomed in the future, even if I'm only 22. I internally feel like a child. Anyways, please let's go back to what I was talking about earlier. And it's a mostly women environment, and they, I don't want to say begged, but really insisted on me going back to my job, and just I had that Walter White ideology where I was like finding excuses not to go back because you're a dude and men never change their opinions, and I kind of regret my decision, like because they like talked about increasing my pay a lot, and one more problem with my job, the only problem was that I didn't get a lot of time for myself, and I could have fixed that by basically fixing my sleep schedule, which I am working on and will eventually happen. Quite recently, I'm constantly working on it. I'm trying my best, but shit happens. But yeah, I feel like I still have a lot to talk about, but that's just me. Like I said, I'm internally a little bit feminine, like right here. So I can constantly bitch about shit. Again, like I said earlier, bitching is, um, in my opinion, for men is a bad thing. But bitching purely on on itself isn't exactly a bad thing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. Okay, let's chill the fuck out. I love y'all. I'm ending this right here. Take care of yourselves, love yourselves, and make sure that you're honest to yourselves. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I won't upload any more videos for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow because I'm gonna lay down and go try to sleep. Inshallah, I will be able to sleep. Again, I said inshallah because I'm, you know, used to those kind of speech patterns. It's not because I'm religious. Chill the fuck out. Anyways, yeah. Uh, I hope I will be able to fix my sleep pattern. Inshallah, we'll see what happens. But that's it. Do whatever the fuck you want to do in your life. That's your life, your decisions. But make sure what you want to do makes sense. No matter, and remember, no matter how ridiculous it only has to make sense to you. Bye bye. Goodbye.